Lads and ladies, take a look right here at the man who's going to win the four-man tournament that is going down in Qatar on February the 17th between four of the biggest, strongest men in the world. Today we're finally getting around to talking about Martyn Ford, the absolute giant of a human being. He's 6'8", I think he's listed at. Probably somewhere in the vicinity of 350 pounds. He's strong, he's jacked, he's athletic, and he's been training in MMA and doing striking and grappling for years before Eddie Hall started, before Brian Shaw started, before Mitch Hooper. I think if I had to put money on it, we're looking at the winner right here. Martyn Ford is a little bit of a specimen, to be honest. Not just because he's massive, but the way he moves. Not many people of this size can move like this. And I know here he's just jumping and skipping about, but if we take a look at some of his reels, especially the ones I've compiled for you today, I think it makes sense that Martyn Ford has all the attributes and the skills to win this tournament. I mean, look how light he is on his toes. And I know these are basic footwork drills, but can we really imagine Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, or Mitch Hooper doing these type of drills with this fluidity? Of course they're going to be able to, but if you just look how he's moving like a lightweight NFL linebacker or whatever. I don't know the freaking positions in American sports. But Martyn Ford has been doing this type of explosive, functional training, if you like, for years. I mean, take a look at the size of him here. He's like a hybrid athlete. He's a bodybuilder. He's strong. He's fast and agile, very functional, really fit as well, does a lot of cardio, but then also at the same time can fight. And I know he hasn't been in any real fights yet. I could be wrong on this, but I'm sure he signed 2 MMA contracts in the past and just hasn't actually fought yet. So if this four-man tournament actually goes down, it'll be his first fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I mean, look right here. Obviously, you got a little bit of footwork, and I think in this video he does a rollover as well. We'll just have to commentate over. Yeah, look at these rollovers. Now, I know this can be very simple. Oh, he's just doing a rollover, Shaun. Not a lot of people can do rollovers, but like these type of drills here, this is I mean, that's really good. And a backwards rollover is hard to do as well. Obviously, for people like us, easy. But I guarantee if you get most bodybuilders to try a forward roll, they won't be able to do it. I'd like to see Brian Shaw try a forward rollover. See how light Martyn Ford is on his toes? These are all good signs that he's got good athleticism. He's got good movement. And movement is the foundation of everything fighting. Right, so let's go through Martyn Ford's Instagram. I've DM'd myself some videos going all the way back from a few years ago, all the way up to the present day. Let's see how he's looking. Okay, so we got some elbows here.
Good. Now make an angle with it. Good. One more of that.
Okay, good power. A lot of people, when they throw elbows, they'll usually just throw it like this, and they won't actually turn the shoulder into it and twist the hips like you should when you're throwing a cross. But he was doing that there. He could probably follow through a little bit more, but not too bad. This is from July 2018, and I remember seeing this video ages ago. And it doesn't really mean much. I mean, anyone can do that, but as you can see, he's a big guy. He's obviously going to possess a lot of power. And of course, those punches are telegraphed. The big swinging wide punches, you're going to see them from a mile off, but you don't look at this too seriously. A lot of people in the fighting world are dead toxic with stuff like this. I mean, even look at some of the comments here. You don't gosh against me, pussycat. Bro, that's nothing. I'm really stronger than you. I'm just not a bragger like you. Maybe if you actually hung it right instead of to make it look like those weak-ass punches did it. It ain't that hard. People are just absolute haters online, aren't they? You gotta have thick skin to be on social media. And this is what I've been going on about, covering the build-up to these fights. I've wanted to see some kicks, because we've seen a lot of punches, we've seen grappling, but we haven't really seen anyone throw any kicks. Not bad. Now, Martyn Ford listed at 6'8", give or take an inch or two, whether he's 6'7" or 6'9", I don't know. It doesn't really matter when you're that tall. Look how high he's actually kicking. So he's fighting Brian Shaw in the first fight. Eddie Hall and Mitch Hooper, what are they like? Between 6'1" and 6'3". So Martyn Ford can definitely get his leg up to Eddie Hall and Mitch Hooper's head height. But even still, I can't really tell because of the angle. But he might actually be kicking up to the height of his own head there, which means that he has got the capability to head kick Brian Shaw, who is 6'9" himself. But imagine how crazy viral the moment would be if Martyn Ford came out and got a KO by a head kick on Brian Shaw. Pretty mental. So we got more kicks here from Martyn Ford. I mean, fantastic power right there. What we can see is he's turning that lead foot out to the left, which allows you to open your hips up, and you can turn your hips right over then and get enough power into the bag. So what you're looking for when people throw the kick is, as they make contact, where are their hips pointed and directed towards? Some people, like Alex Pereira in the UFC, can low kick whilst keeping the hips facing forward or just a little bit off center. But for the most part, the fundamentals of kicking is you want to be turning your hips right over, and in order to do that, you need to turn that foot out. Martyn Ford is doing that here. You don't ever see people who are this big thrown with such good technique and also this much power. And it really begs the question, has Brian Shaw taken a lot of leg kicks in sparring, or are they mainly just focusing on punching and closing the distance so then Brian Shaw can take Martyn Ford down? Because if Martyn Ford is able to keep the distance and keep away from Brian Shaw and get some of these leg kicks off, I think that's going to be the key to victory against Brian Shaw, because if you take the movement away from that big guy, he'll struggle to even get close to you. Brian Shaw's going to be a little bit more of a ploddy fighter. So if Martyn Ford is able to just dance around a little bit, bang, low kick, move around, throw a couple 1-2s, and then bang, low kick again, defend off the takedown, create that distance, bang, low kick again, I think we'll see Brian Shaw's legs give out. So I think what we're seeing here is one of the keys to victory for Martyn Ford. Now, we got a little bit of grappling by Martyn. This is February 2020, right before lockdowns. Okay, so he's doing a little bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. How'd you even find a gi to fit him? I mean, once again, you can win just by squashing.
Nice.
Okay, he's got the rear naked choke. Not bad. Now, I'm not sure if this is a drill or if they're actually sparring and having a little bit of a grapple and a roll. But Martyn Ford does all the correct things there. You're seeing he was in full guard. He pushed himself out, rotated the lad's legs to his left, and then was able to roll him over and then eventually take his back like this. And then he pulled his arms down out of the way. I don't know if you've seen that, but these are actually quite high-level moves. But he's able to do this because of the strength and size differential here. But the guy had his arms up there like that, kind of protecting his neck. And Martyn Ford just grabbed his arms and pulled them down, and then was able to get under the neck with that guillotine. With the rear naked choke. The way he's holding the fella's right arm here, and then he grabs both of the arms like that. So he grabs the fella's left arm, and his right arm is also latched up within that hold, and then he pulls his arms down out of the way so then he can grab him and get in that rear naked choke. Fantastic. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Watch this one. See, now, if Martyn Ford can just do that to Brian Shaw, as he goes in for the takedown, just pick him up, boom, big massive suplex. It's not even a suplex, is it? Powerbomb. If he can just powerbomb Brian Shaw, then he's going to win, definitely. What do you think? What are the chances of Martyn Ford powerbombing Brian Shaw? Comment down below, let me know. Pretty good. Yep. Okay. Very good ground and pound there by Martyn Ford. This is 100% an accurate depiction of what is going to happen in reality. Obviously, I'm joking. Most people don't know when I am doing so, and I might even have to blur that because YouTube does not like blood. Martyn Ford is also very well known for having an extremely small head.
Hey Martyn, I've got Jason here. He's got a little message for you.
Hey Martyn, stop skipping head day, please.
This is photoshopped, but, you know, his body's that big. Even his big head looks tiny. Right, this one isn't anything crazy, but it's just a little bit of a speed display. Martyn Ford doing some rolling uppercuts. Check it out.
Nice, there you go. 5.
4, 3, 2, boom.
And once again, that's nothing to really show, hey, look how well this guy can fight. It's more so just to show that he's very fast twitchy, and he's got that athleticism, and he can move very, very fast. He's very agile. Okay, next we got a bit of boxing skills. Let's have a look. I mean, the power is clear. I mean, you can see the whole thing rocking and shaking. You can hear the thuds in those punches. What I'm looking for, and I'm no boxing expert, obviously kickboxing background, but what I'm looking for here when I'm watching Martyn is when he's throwing the uppercuts and the hooks, is he using the hips? I don't actually watch the hands, I watch the hips, because that's where all the power is generated from. So as he's throwing that left uppercut in particular, he's turning his hip into it, you see? He's not just throwing arm punches like Logan Paul, he's using the whole rotation of his body to dig in and create that power. So, I mean, pretty good punching there by Martyn. Let's take a look at some of the salty haters. I mean, look at this. Imagine being this person. Your technique is laughable. F you and your stupid Hulk, which we don't support. I think this was when he was meant to be fighting the Iranian Hulk. But imagine having this sort of energy online towards someone who you don't even know. F you. People need to direct and channel this energy into a little bit of positivity in their own lives. I mean, what's this person doing? Selling dresses online. Where's your face? It's always the empty profiles or the faceless profiles or the private profiles who have usually got a lot to say. That's why YouTube, Instagram, TikTok are usually the most toxic comment sections, because people can hide behind the anonymous profiles. Okay, let's see a little bit of a grapple. This is with this guy. I don't know who he is, but he's clearly not going to be as strong as Brian Shaw, is he? So here we go. Martyn Ford versus the ecom guy. You can see Martyn knows what he's doing. I know obviously the guy is quarter of the size of him, but the way he passes guard, he's in half guard now. The way he threw his legs to the side initially, he's going for the choke. He's full mount. If you've ever had someone this big on top of you, which most of you probably haven't, it's horrible.
Yeah, that's it.
He's getting the choke. Not quite. He went for the rear naked choke then, but didn't quite have the position right. Okay. So he's kind of just tapping for nothing there. He's kind of tapping for the discomfort and the fatigue and just the sheer overwhelming nature of having someone this big just rag you around. I mean, he rolled him off like he was nothing. Nice. But once again, he's half the size of Martyn Ford. So these grappling exchanges won't really tell us too much. And then we've obviously got the striking too. I see people slating his technique, but for such a big guy, I think he's pretty decent, to be fair. I mean, look the way he goes. Jab, steps back, and then throws a 1-2. Fundamentals of boxing right there. And his footwork looks good. We won't see any of the others do this. Maybe Eddie Hall. But we haven't seen anyone have, like, this good footwork, be this light on the feet, and throw really good extended punches. Eddie Hall obviously has got that one-punch KO power with that overhand right. But Martyn Ford's got that range and that length to be like bang, 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 bang. Jabs, crosses. Watch, he goes jab, steps back, 1-2. And again. Jab, step back, 1-2. Measured. Precise. Good. And he's keeping his hands up. The jab could probably come back to his face a little bit more. But I'd say Martyn Ford's a force to be reckoned with, you know. Even if he hasn't had any MMA fights, just the simple fact that he's been training within MMA, kickboxing, boxing for so long is a huge advantage. The main question that needs to be answered is, what's Martyn Ford's grappling and takedown defense actually like? Because Brian Shaw is a big, strong individual. If Brian Shaw can get Martyn Ford up against the cage and then take him down, because we've seen that's what he's working on a lot, throwing a couple strikes, then getting Martyn Ford up against the cage, then taking him down and ground and pound, that's what we're going to see Brian Shaw go for. If Martyn Ford can avoid that, throw some leg kicks, keep Brian Shaw at bay with those long straight punches, circle off, throw some more leg kicks, I think Martyn Ford could win this entire tournament. We'll have to see. What do you guys think? How do you think Martyn Ford looks? Do you think he's got the capability to win this tournament? What did you think of his punches, of his movement? Do you think we should expect something better from someone who's been training that long? Or do you think he looks good considering how big he is? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like this video, subscribe for daily content, and I'll see you all tomorrow.